Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. It's week 4 and Andy's got the rundown.
Sam, today we continue our look at medical malpractice and the problems it's involved in Nevada. We talked to Bill Bradley from the Nevada Trial Lawyers. Now, this interview was taped before our interview with Frank Luntz, the national pollster, last week. And then we talked to Jim Wadhams from the insurance industry. This was taped after the interview with Frank Luntz. Sam?
And on our panel of pundits today, Andy, we've got Jim Denton, the political consultant, plus Andy Barbano. And the governor's been kind of amused by some of Barbano's remarks, so he sent Greg Bortolin to be on the panel today as well. It's all on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Earn triple cash points every day during February at the Gold Dust West. Celebrate, we're bringing back the classics.
Earn once, twice, 3 times the points.
With triple cash points, you'll remember.
Win 3 times.
3 times the cash. Triple cash points happens the entire month of February. You'll enjoy.
3 is the winningest number.
3 times the cash. All day, all machines, all month. Using your Gold Rush card in February will be music to your ears.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV park.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of Firestone roofing products for any type of roof, from commercial to industrial and residential. With a Firestone roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
Feel it, the magic is everywhere. The action, the style, the food, the flair. Play with us, stay with us in Reno, say El Dorado, and live the excitement. El Dorado, Reno's shining star. Live the excitement.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Andy Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
You've probably seen the commercial that have been running even on this program, of which it's one of the sponsors, for Keep Our Docs in Nevada. There's another side to this story, and Bill Bradley, who represents the Nevada Trial Lawyers, is with us to talk about it. Welcome, Bill.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Can you tell us now, where exactly do the attorneys stand on this issue?
Well, the attorneys want to make sure that our citizens, our neighbors, our co-workers serve on juries, listen to all the facts, and make a decision based on the facts of an individual case, rather than what a corporation decides is a fair amount to settle for that has no idea what impact a medical malpractice case had on a victim.
All right, now the doctors are saying that they want to keep the $350,000 cap, but they want to do away with the exceptions, and they only want to address economic issues, not health issues, I gather.
Well, what they're trying to do, and it's unfortunate because the doctors are being used by insurance companies from out of state. And that's exactly our point, is the doctors say, but it's really the insurers that want juries not to decide these cases. They don't want you, Andy, or you, Sam, sitting on a jury. They want to decide what your case is worth without ever hearing from you from other parts of this country. That's what insurance companies want in this state. And unfortunately, the doctors are being used as the tools to accomplish insurance companies and corporations' greedy profit motives.
One of the net results of this, though, appears to be, certainly in Las Vegas and in Southern Nevada in general, that people are not getting to see the doctors they want to see, and some procedures are not being performed.
And that is a very difficult problem, Sam, and it's a combination of poor doctors that were not properly disciplined by our Board of Medical Examiners, allowing to continue to practice when they should have been run out of the state, and good doctors bearing the brunt of poor doctors' conduct. And that's some of the things that we don't think should affect a person's right to a jury trial.
Do you support then the reestablishment of the medical screening panel?
No, Andy, I don't. As you already know, the screening panel was strongly debated in a summer special session. And it was the physicians, actually, that wanted to get rid of the screening panel in exchange for some of these laws. And you have to realize the laws that were passed last summer already severely limit some victims' rights. And making victims jump through another hoop of the screening panel is only going to delay justice for them. And our new law requires that a doctor sign an affidavit that medical malpractice did occur. So we've still got checks and balances in place to make sure it's the meritorious case that goes forward.
Bill, why is it in this state that you cannot find out any information about your doctor or the hospitals? In other states, that information is available.
Well, there are some people that clearly believe that that should happen, and there's going to be laws introduced to be able to allow consumers to find out what really is occurring with the doctor they're thinking about visiting, or what is occurring in a hospital. And those are important consumer issues that the health community has never really wanted out on the table. And it's time that information be put right out on the table so consumers have a good choice of information and a good basis.
Aren't we, though, getting to a point where people are just not going to be able to afford insurance, period, that companies are not going to be able to pay for it, the private, I mean, I know what my insurance rates are as a private person trying to get medical insurance. I can only get major medical because to pay for anything more than that would just be completely prohibitive. It would be my entire income.
It is unfortunate, Sam, because of the horrible tragedy of 911 and the tremendous investment losses that the insurance companies lost. But when you and I...
This actually goes way prior to that.
Well, but since 911, they've raised the rate so highly that people can't afford it, and meanwhile managed care is taking out a lot of the profits, and they're hurting you and me, they're hurting the physicians, and something has got to change in our healthcare system to make sure that working people can afford healthcare. But changing our rights is not the right idea.
What's the balanced answer to all of this?
The balanced answer is a common sense approach to insurance reform. We have to be able, like they did in California, past Prop 103, to look at the insurance industry and say this is not fair. You can't do this kind of gouging like you're doing.
You mean cap the premiums?
In some cases, you bet. When there's excess premiums in good investment times, there should be rebates to physicians. Prop 103 in California resulted in hundreds of millions of dollars of rebates to physicians. Those are the kinds of things we need to do in Nevada to make sure all of us can afford health care, and to make sure good doctors can continue to treat us, and make sure bad doctors are not allowed to hurt Nevadans anymore.
Dr. Rudy Matthews agreed to debate you on the program here on this topic. Would you be willing to do that?
Oh, I've always been willing to sit down with any physician and talk about the true issues in this and the phony issues.
Then we will have you back. Bill Bradley, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this time out.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
Do you know you can still buy a nice car for a great price and a low payment? The car is a Mitsubishi Lancer, and it's only available at Reno Mitsubishi. The Lancer has style, a ton of neat features, and with a lease payment of $169 a month, it's even more fun to drive. So if you want a great deal on a Mitsubishi Lancer, find your way down to Reno Mitsubishi today. Because at this payment, they won't last long.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. 7 award-winning dining choices. Experience the Atlantis Seafood Steakhouse tonight. Winner of Wine Spectator's Award of Excellence. The local choice for food and fun, Atlantis.
Atlantis.
At Sushi Club, everybody's family. That's what makes dining here so much fun. The sushi is consistently better, the atmosphere is great, and the service is wonderful.
Welcome to the bigger and better Sushi Club. Come in for our delicious daily specials.
When you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Hi, may I please make an appointment?
What if you called for help and no one answered?
Hi, I'd like to make...
What if that help was for your unborn child? Lawsuit abuse has created a healthcare crisis, making it difficult for women to find doctors, driving good doctors out of Nevada and leaving us without healthcare. We're protecting the doctors of Nevada, and we need your help. Call 800-784-4730 now. Tell your legislator to support Keep Our Doctors in Nevada.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Jim Wadhams is a lobbyist at the state legislature representing several different kinds of groups: home builders, hospitals, mining taxes, and insurance. We have questions for him.
Jim, thank you for being with us here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, as you know, this medical malpractice is a hot issue, and according to this poll we just talked to Dr. Luntz, insurance companies are to blame. Is that true?
No, that's like blaming the bank for letting you run up your credit cards. They shouldn't have let me have this much credit.
By the way, the trial lawyers also agree with them.
I'm sure they do. And I've done this for a number of years. I've had that discussion with the trial lawyers over a variety of issues, and I think it just suggests a basic misunderstanding of the role of the insurance companies. They neither practice medicine nor try cases. They're merely a fiscal intermediary that pay for the results and pay for the litigation. And quite frankly, that's where the problem is in paying for the litigation.
Everybody keeps looking to California as the possible solution to our medical malpractice, and in California the rates finally dropped when the government in fact capped the premiums. Isn't that what we're going to have to do here in Nevada?
I don't believe that is what happened. In California, they had a long-standing experiment with what they call MICRA, which is a tort reform package that was adopted in about 1975. And when the courts finally approved that it was constitutional about 10 years later, you didn't see a drop in insurance rates. What you begin to see was a leveling off. And that has 27, 28 years of experience now. That has proven to be the only model that has stabilized insurance rates. What insurance companies need in all kinds of insurance is predictability. If you can't predict what you're going to have to spend when the event occurs, you can't price fairly to that end. And predictability has been the problem here in Nevada.
One of the things that struck me about the poll that Frank Luntz did was that this implicit or implied threat to legislators that if they don't vote in favor of this medical malpractice reform, that they're going to pay for it at the polls. Doesn't that just encourage the insurance industry and the trial lawyers, for that matter, to put up money to be able to go on the other side to defend these politicians?
Well, I can't speak to the trial lawyers, and you've got a very capable advocate coming up on one of your shows who can. The insurance industry is relatively inactive politically in this state. I happen to be a lobbyist for them, but they make virtually no campaign contributions in this state. It is a business opportunity. If they make money, they stay. If they don't make money, they go do something else. It's a little like here in downtown Reno, where there used to be a Menards and an R. Herzen Brothers. If they can't make money in those locations, they go someplace else. It's just a simple business decision.
Jim, according to information supplied to me by the insurance division, our medical malpractice rates have really only gone up in Clark County in the last couple of years, and they haven't really gone up much at all in the rest of the state. Can a doctor leave Clark County and come to northern Nevada and have his insurance rates drop?
Yes, absolutely. That is correct. In fact, I have a personal experience, not in medical malpractice, but I re-registered and reinsured my vehicle when I came to Carson City for the legislature, and my auto insurance premium dropped by 45%. So I was pleased at that. Now, unfortunately, if you move the doctors from Las Vegas to Reno, then you're going to have to move the patients from Las Vegas to Reno, and it doesn't necessarily work very well that way to do that.
So have there been a lot of jury awards in Clark County in large amounts? Why is it so skewed, so different in Clark County than in the rest of the state?
One of the problems with any kind of insurance is you've got to consider how many units of exposure there are. As a comparison with auto insurance, there's probably 1.5 million cars on the road, that's a lot of units, that's a lot of coin flips. When you only have a couple of thousand doctors in Clark County, you have a lot of money that's riding on very few exposures. So the problem really is exacerbated in our state because of the small size of our medical community.
I have a question for you on a mining issue. I know that you do represent at least one mining organization. The governor needs tax money desperately. So does the legislature. Mining has been doing pretty well this last year. Do you think that we're going to see any increase in taxes on mining in this session?
Well, mining, along with gaming and quite frankly the insurance industry, are the three industries that pay specific taxes beyond the general taxes of property and sales tax that other industries pay. Now, what happens with those industries is they don't get a break when things go bad, they just keep paying. So I think the mining industry is generally supportive of broadening the tax base and have participated in the discussions of the development of aspects of that, such as the gross receipts tax.
Okay.
And we should reveal that, although representing the insurance industry today, Jim Wadhams is also an attorney.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Thanks very much for being here, Jim. And we'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout.
Take a break and treat the family to breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Tamarack Junction. Enjoy pasta night on Wednesdays, Mexican on Thursdays, and seafood on Fridays. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amani Ranch Parkway.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of elk roofing products for any type of residential roof. With an elk roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
The Gold Dust West has another Club Card Challenge. Triple cash points all day, all machines, all month.
Okay, what's the catch?
None. Just use your Gold Rush card any day, anytime, and on any machine during the month of February, and you'll earn triple cash points.
Triple cash points on all machines?
On all machines.
Triple cash points anytime?
Anytime.
Triple cash points all day, all machines, all month, just for using my Gold Rush card? How do they give away that much cash?
Simple. February only has 28 days.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV park.
At Tamarack Junction, you can take advantage of fabulous food around the clock. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, give the oven and yourself a rest. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amani Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, it is time for the Pundit panel. And today on the panel, Ande Barbano on the Barbed Wire, Sparks Tribune columnist, Jim Denton, political consultant, and Greg Bortolin, the governor's press secretary. Welcome to all of you. Jim Denton, anything to disagree with Jim Wadhams or Bill Bradley about?
Well, you know, Sam, first of all, let me say I've done some consulting work for Coden, but I've known Bill Bradley for a number of years, and I immensely respect Bill. But Bill made the statement that doctors are being used by insurance companies, and I would suggest that if Bill's right, then Health and Human Services must be being used by by insurance companies too, because their report, which was just issued a couple of months ago, says that states with liability reform are not experiencing crises. They say that crisis is the result of litigation excesses, and it says that the crisis of malpractice is a result
Legislative
of not
Counsel
bad
Bureau
investment.
says we've had all of 23 lawsuits in the last 5 years. I don't think that's a litigation crisis.
Well, all I can tell you is what Health and Human Services says is
But
that
that's
the
a
problem,
national, that's not...
Well, their numbers, their Nevada numbers
Yeah,
are
but
in
those
there.
are old numbers, too.
And the problem is that the numbers have gotten worse since this was published on September 25th.
Actually, they haven't, because in our state, you can't even bring one of these lawsuits without a doctor saying, yes, you have a legitimate claim.
You know, I would suggest suggest that you maybe read this because the numbers that they are using for Nevada are 2001 numbers.
Right. Well, and the numbers from the Legislative
existed.
Council Bureau, I know, are very accurate because that's what's provided to the legislature.
I recommend you not read that. You got to remember, the Bush administration is a dogmatic administration, and if you say the wrong thing, you're fired. You expect me to believe what Health and Human Services puts out as part of the Bush administration. These are the same guys who killed the budget for reporting mass layoffs at the end of last December. Harper's Magazine reports in this month's edition that there were 17,700 mass layoffs in the year 2002, which is the reason the Bush administration stopped reporting it. So, and Bush wants to limit liability for doctors to 250,000.
One thing that I do know is that something needs to change. We need affordability, we need accessibility, and we need availability.
It's called
and we don't have that today. And we don't have that today.
Okay, Greg, I forgot to tell you before the show, just jump in whenever you want because there was no invitation here.
Well, the governor signed a real, we passed some real tort reform. The bill just went into effect October 1st. As Jim Wadhams said, it takes time. Insurance rates are based upon long-term experience, and it's going to be a long time before we see the effects of those of that bill.
And you may not have some of those specialized doctors here in that long period of time because, as Wadhams said, and I agree with him, that insurance companies need predictability. They obviously don't feel they're getting that today because rates continue to rise. And some of the comments.
Even if you lowered them today, Jim, you still wouldn't get that because that's not enough time period for them to bring rates down. You have to give these people at least a year.
I don't disagree with you, but I'll tell you how bad the crisis is in Southern Nevada. I have talked to OBGYNs that just the GYN part of their practice, if you want an appointment, you will get one 1 year from the day that you call, and it is a serious situation.
Look, the problem with Governor Dudley Do-Right and the legislature's reform was it didn't go far enough. You get rid of the freaking insurance companies from Minnesota. You form a state insurance company that regulates doctors and regulates insurance rates and manages the system. And
Andy, that's exactly what the governor did.
Yeah, he put together a state insurance company, but you still had private competitors in there, and the rates never went down.
The rates
even the
did
state
go
insurance
down,
company
Andy. That's not true. That's not true, Andy.
The one thing when you talk about insurance reform, let me tell you something I know for a fact. You cannot make an insurance company stay somewhere where they are not being profitable.
I don't want them
That's
here.
not going to happen. And, what they did in the legislature last year, I have to tell you, I personally think that Governor Gwynn deserves a lot of credit for calling the special session, for trying to resolve the problem, and for making as much progress on it as they did last July.
They gave the doctors what they wanted. They gave the doctors what the doctors told the governor they wanted last year. And that's what they got. Now a different group of doctors comes along and says, no, we don't like what was done.
At this point, the problem still exists, and the problem needs to be resolved because, as I said, you need affordability, accessibility, and availability.
Okay,
you need government regulation.
Let's change the topic here. Greg, we invited you on because the governor occasionally watches this program, I understand, and has been somewhat amused by some of the comments of Mr. Barbano. Would you like to respond?
Well, just like that last comment, I mean, Andy uses a lot of creative license in some of the statements that he makes. The governor did form a state insurance company. The state of Nevada is not in the business of forming. We're not in the insurance business, but we did act.
You sure are now.
Well, we acted very quickly to solve, or at least to address, a crisis. And we've kept doctors in the state, and he also called a special session of the legislature. This all happened within a matter of months. Within 2 months of meeting with the doctors, we had formed an insurance agency. 3 months later, we were in a special session. On October 1st, we had a bill that went into law.
And as I say, I think the governor deserves a lot of credit for that. I think there were a lot of positive things done in that special session. Considering it was a special session for 4 days and such a complex issue and such a complex problem, I think the governor, his staff, and the legislators deserve a lot of credit for that, frankly.
I hope they do as well as the special session he's going to need to call on taxes.
Okay, Greg, let me ask you about that. What has been the governor's response to his State of the State address and his follow-up promotion of it? Has he been in any way surprised by any of the ire?
No, this is exactly what the governor expected. The governor, I mean, we're in the third week of the season. You know, this is like a baseball season. It's a long season. You don't predict who's going to win the pennant in the fourth week of the season. He will make his case during the course of the 120-day session. I believe we're at about 198 days, somewhere in there right now. So it's very, very early.
The interesting thing that I've noticed in polling that I've seen is while the governor's tax policies or plans or suggestions may not be very popular with certain segments of the public, that the governor's personal popularity has stayed very high, and that's a very interesting
Well, I
contrast.
think it's just he basically offered everything to everybody at the state of the state and put a nice price tag on it, and now the business is trying to figure out how we're going to pay for
The
it.
governor's between a rock and a hard place in this deal. We've got 400,000 people that have moved here since Governor Gwynn took office. We've got 27,000 kids going to enter this school system next year alone, and we have to fund this state. The governor's in a very difficult position, as is the legislature.
Quick prediction from everybody. Will we see taxes go up to gaming more than
about 10 seconds
than 25%? 0.25.
2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Senator Neal's Senate Bill 21 in front of Senator McGinnis's
All right,
committee.
enough.
It'll
Jim,
go
your
2% to 2 to 2.5%.
You will see a gaming tax increase, yes.
Gaming has stepped to the plate, and I think
No, they haven't.
Okay, we got to go. You took too much time, you guys. We'll be right back.
If you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club. Year after year voted the best place for sushi. 11 chefs on staff to serve you. Better ingredients for consistent high quality. And lots of room, so bring your friends. Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Feel it, the magic is everywhere. The action, the style, the food, the flair. Play with us, stay with us in Reno, say El Dorado. And live the excitement. El Dorado, Reno shining star. Live the excitement.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
The Mitsubishi Outlander is the hottest new sport utility on the market today. And right now, you can lease it at Reno Mitsubishi for just $209 a month. The Outlander is sporty, features all-wheel drive, and is the best buy in its class. You owe it to yourself, and you deserve it. Come down and lease a brand new 2003 Outlander for just $209 a month. It's for a limited time only, so find your way down to Reno Mitsubishi today.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, consistently voted Reno's best buffet by locals. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch.
Atlantis.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Another quiet show on tap for tomorrow, huh?
Oh, yes. We've got Jane Nichols, the Chancellor of the University of Nevada System, and Howard Rosenberg, Regent. And to cap it all off, we have Mike McGinnis, Senator, Chairman of Senate Taxation Committee.
It'll be another hot show, plus the pundits. Join us tomorrow at 12:30. We'll see you then.